What is going on, everyone? Griffin here, coming at you with some Fixer gameplay, and today we're going to be talking about weapon mastery and ranked. Should we keep it? Should we get rid of it? Let's head over. Let's talk about it. So weapon mastery and ranked. This is something that has kind of been thrown around quite recently, especially since the developer Q&A stream that happened a couple of weekends ago, and a lot of people has kind of been talking about it. There's been a little bit of buzz about it, about weapon mastery in certain game modes, weapon mastery in ranked. Should weapon mastery still be a thing? And I think if you know, you know. If you don't, I'm going to reiterate it here. I don't think that weapon mastery is a great idea. I don't like the idea of opening up all the weapons for all the rogues all across the board. I thought that that was kind of taking away some of the specialty and diversity and also uniqueness from the rogues, and just like opening the floodgates. Like, the way that I see it is either have all the weapons available for all the rogues so that they can purchase it like you do in like Valorant, Counter-Strike, whatever, or close it off to where only rogues have access to only these specific set of weapons. That way it gives them an identity. That way it gives you more of a reason as to why you want to pick these specific rogues. Maybe you want to run a DMR, maybe you want to run the Mamba. Well, there's only 2 rogues that have access to the Mamba, and if you're playing in a ranked match, then you have to hope that those rogues don't get banned. Like I said, it should either be one way or the other. This middle of the road, like weapon class thing, is kind of redundant in my opinion. But at the end of the day, weapon mastery is here. So for ranked moving forward, how should weapon mastery exist in a ranked or a competitive environment? And I know that there's been several tournaments that's been ran where like you can only access their default weapons, and a lot of people have to go look up what the default weapons for those rogues are, and it makes for a very fun and very pleasurable viewing experience when you know that someone picks this specific rogue that's not normally picked in a competitive environment because they have access to these specific weapons. And I think that that is the thing about like competitive and also ranked play, is like you kind of have to like build your opinion on who you want to play around more than just, is their ability OP, is their passive ability OP, and what perks do they have access to? Like, you can kind of like factor weapons into that just a little bit more so than just weapon class as a whole. And this is my suggestion on how weapon mastery and ranked should be handled. I think that whenever you drop into a ranked match, let's say you're playing with Dallas. I'm going to use Dallas as our default pick here. Dallas has access to assault rifles and DMRs. So let's say you're playing with Dallas on ranked, and you drop in, you get enough cash to buy a weapon, and you buy the KA-30 for Dallas. Once you buy the KA-30, it should lock all of the other assault rifles out completely. You shouldn't be able to change. You shouldn't be able to mix it up any. You shouldn't be able to do any of that stuff. You should be stuck with the decision that you made with the KA-30. Now, you still have access to all of the DMRs. So let's say you're playing on a long-range map. You need something that's a little bit more precise, that does a little bit more damage at range. So you decide to pick up the Devotion with Dallas. Once you purchase the Devotion or swap over to the Devotion, then it locks you out of all of the other DMRs that you have access to. You can only play at that point with the KA-30, with the Devotion, and that's it. Same thing with pistol. You should have to pick your pistol right out of the gate, and that should be the only pistol that you have access to. Same thing with melees, the whole 9 yards. I think that if you did something like that, to where you have freedom of choice up to a certain extent, and then once that freedom of choice is gone, once you make that decision, then you should have to live with the decision that you made, and you should be forced to continue using that. I know whenever weapon mastery first came in, I didn't swap any of the weapons on any of the rogues. Then I started swapping the HRM out on Dallas with the Riptide because I enjoy the HRM on Dallas more so than the Riptide. And then I started just saying, screw it, I'm going to play whatever I want to play on whoever I want to play. And then I started saying, screw it, I'm going to play whoever I want to play with whatever I want to play at any given time of any match. I want to swap it up at will. And like, I just kind of like bought into this idea. I bought into the meta. I bought into the whole 9 yards, because at the end of the day, that's all they did when they created weapon mastery. They created a meta for Rogue Company. That's it. That's all they did. But I think that locking people out and forcing them to live with the decisions that they made would have people making more safer, but also more comforting weapon choice picks whenever they're playing a ranked match. If they feel comfortable and confident with the KA-30, then they're going to prioritize buying that weapon. If they feel comfortable and confident with the HRM, then they're going to prioritize that. They're going to work with that, upgrade with that. They're going to have to use it for its pros and its cons at that point. Right now, there are no pros and cons. You go in there and you switch them around at will, and you do whatever it is that you do with them, and if it's not working, you just get rid of it, bring something else in there, and be done with it. I don't like that. I don't like weapon mastery, of course, as a whole, but I really don't like that idea of like just being able to swap at will and at random. And I think that would make competitive much more interesting to watch. It would make it much more fun to watch. It would also make ranked a little bit more fun to play because you've got the bans, you've got the drafts. Let's have something similar for the weapons since you open that up for everybody, and let's be done with it. Or open the weapons up for everybody all across the board and allow people to play with their economy as much as they possibly want to at that point. Like, I mean, what is the biggest drawback to that happening? There's one gun to rule them all. That's already been happening in Rogue Company for the past 3 years. Once they open Weapon Mastery up, it has been the meta gun is the gun to use. So I think that if they did that after they get all the weapons and things balanced out, then it would make it very interesting if you had all weapons accessed by all rogues. Like, that's all I'm going to say. Could you imagine a Lancer runner, which they fixed Lancer, thankfully, but her running around with like machine guns, this, that, and the other, like there has to be a fine line in the sand, and they broke all of their rules to begin with. And it's like, how are we going to get back on that train? I don't know if we're going to. I don't know what they're going to decide to do, but that's how I think that rank should be moving forward. I think that it should definitely be something where you have to live with the decision that you make for the rest of that entire ranked match. And if it was the wrong decision that you made, then you should be forced to live with it. That's the way it is in a lot of other games, and that's the way that it should be. But be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think that weapon mastery should be disabled for ranked as a whole? Do you think that you should be able to go in there and like kind of pick what you want right out of the gate, and then it lock you out of every other weapon in that class? Or do you think that this is a terrible idea and just leave weapon mastery open for the masses? Be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, be sure to check that description for links to Facebook, Discord, and Twitter. Those are the places to contact me. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed to the channel, then consider hitting that join button to become one of the 256 crew members. Lastly, on Thursdays from 8 until 11 p.m. Central Time, Sundays from 10 a.m. until we get tired, I will be streaming here on YouTube. So if you're interested and available, please feel free to stop by and say hello there. Thanks for watching, guys.
Damn it, Garbo. He always has fucking 3 shots on me before I can even come out. I don't know, dude. There's just
Where is this sniper? Okay.
I'm revealed fucking again.
Let's see how they handle this.
The door. They're pushing behind us, guys.
Fuck, I was coming after that one that was after you.
Dude, come and plant the bomb. Dude, you got to come plant the bomb.
Every time! Like, everybody that's running that fucking riptide gets 3 shots on me before I can do anything. It's absurd.
He's in the mid.
Shots. Mm.
They know. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm revealed.
Dude, I was fucking safe, man.
They're running.
Don't tell anyone about this.
Yeah, they're all in their back line.
Oh no! Sniper in the back.
Arm the bomb. Defend it.
There's one up top.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to flush her out, let her get it up.
Sniper just dropped down. All right, they're on the wall right here. They're both on the wall.
Appreciate it, Corey.
That was great. Oh, let me just laugh at him for a second. Just a little laughing.
Yeah, I just popped that fucking wall, hopped over, and was like, "Here you go."
Whenever I popped my glasses, I could see their heat signature through the wall. Like they were clipping through it, kinda. Whenever I down that runway, they were right there, and I was like,